myself the way I am. There's nothing I need to change. I'll always be the perfect me. There's nothing to rearrange. I'm beautiful and capable of being the best me I can. And I love myself just the way I am. I love you just the way you are. There's nothing you need to do. When I feel the love inside myself, it's easy to love you. Behind your fears, your rage and tears, I see a shining star. And I love you just the way you are. I love the world the way it is, 'cause I can clearly see that all the things I judge are done by people just like me. It's till the birth of peace on earth that only love can bring. I'll help it grow by loving everything. I love myself the way I am, and still I want to grow. But change outside can only come when deep inside I know I'm beautiful and capable of being the best me I can. And I love myself just the way I am.
Good morning. It's so great to see everybody here today. My name is Michelle Cole, and I am so happy to be here as your platform chair. I want to welcome you to Unity Center of Cedar Rapids. We appreciate your presence here in our spiritual home and the energy that you bring to this community. We thank you so much for joining us. We also want to welcome our live streamers, and we invite you to know that you are connected heart to heart and soul to soul. Please know that we are here to support you on your spiritual journey. We would like to extend a warm welcome to all of our guests today. Be sure to look at the welcome brochure where you can learn more about Unity Center of Cedar Rapids. If you're newer and you need to update your contact information, please fill out, I have one here, just a second, the guest survey. Scan the QR code or place this in the offertory basket near the end of our service. So thank you for joining us. We look forward to seeing you again. Please welcome our speaker today, Chelsea Stoll. Chelsea is a passionate advocate for compassion in all facets of life. Her journey into compassion work began through her own lived experiences, moments of challenge, growth, and witnessing others' struggles that opened her heart to the profound impact compassion can have. I think both passion and compassion can both have a profound impact. Over time, that personal awakening became a professional calling. Through her work as a speaker, consultant, and thought leader, Chelsea now helps leaders, organizations, and communities cultivate compassion as a driving force for both connection and for transformation. Chelsea believes that the need for compassion has never been greater than it is today. Her message invites audiences to rediscover compassion not as a soft ideal, but as a powerful, practical force for healing, leadership, and community building. And our musical guest today is our very own Noah Swanson. Welcome back, Noah. He's also joined with our band Nina Swanson, Angela Dooley, Tom Zimmerman, Don Oliver, Ben Passionpar, and Trey Dooley. Now we would like to invite our children to join our youth and family ministry teachers. Before we do that, let's bless our children together. Okay, well, we'll bless our children together. We love you, we bless you, we behold the light in you.
We are walking in the light, in the light of God. In the light, 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 in the light of God. Let's sing our invocation.
Please stand if you're able for our invocation and opening song.
We'll wait till they catch up. There we go. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in me. God the good, God the good, God the good omnipotent. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. God, you are every mountain. God, you are every ocean. God, you are every canyon, every inch of earth and sky. God, you are every morning. God, you are every midnight. God, you are every moment, every second of my life. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you. God, you are every sunrise. God, you are every moon glow. God, you are every star shine, every inch of earth and sky. God, you are every springtime. God, you are every snowfall. God, you are every season, every second of my life. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you. 'Cause you are the very breath I breathe, and your perfect love created me.
All right, everybody greet one another with a handshake, a hug, and a hello.
Cause you are the very breath I breathe, and your perfect Everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I am is you. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I am is you. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I am is you.
Yes, I'm the youth director, and I found out just a few days ago I was doing it, so I didn't prepare anything. That's okay. Yes, we have been blessed to have a few kids trickle back into us for the month of September and October, and we're so grateful for that. We had a really quiet, kind of slow summer, but, that's typical. So the kids we have, they're amazing, and we need more kids. That's what we need. So if you have neighbors with kids, let them in. I have a wonderful group of volunteers. You see their pictures when they show up there. They're very committed to the program. I'm so grateful for them. And so I can always use subs. I mean, if you're interested in volunteering, see me, because I'm not going to turn you down. I can tell you that. We have the nursery rooms still, but we just haven't had young kids for a while. But that's not to say that we won't. If you're interested in little ones, below 5 or under 5, also see me. So anyway, thank you for all of you who volunteer. I see you, I know you, I love you, and I love you all for honoring and supporting this program. And you know what? One more thing. If you ever think of something that you would like to present to the kids, like an honorary guest, see me. We'd be open to that. So, thank you.
Thank you, Cindy. And thank you, everyone who volunteers in our youth and family ministry. Are you able to hear me okay now? Yes. Okay, great, wonderful. Okay, so a couple of announcements. After service today, please head down to the community room for our first annual Unity CR Arts and Crafts Fair. You can start your holiday shopping or simply support the craftspeople from UCR and beyond. There will be art quilts, handmade jewelry, watercolors, whimsical bags, brooches, art photos, fire starters, handmade cards, paintings, and much more. So please support our local artists. Also coming up on Tuesday, October 21st, please join our True Tuesday group for somatic movement and dance with Tamara Ray of Light Steps. There's a suggested love offering, but no one will be turned away. Okay, another announcement is our Spirit Space book study. We'll start a new book on October 30th. You can pick up your copy of We Were Made for These Times, 10 Lessons for Moving Through Change, Loss, and Disruption by Kara Jewel Lingo. Please be sure to sign up. Sign-ups are also being taken for Exploring Unity. On November 8th and 9th, you can fill out the yellow form. You can come just to learn more about the Unity movement or attend both classes and become a member of Unity Cedar Rapids. And our next announcement, we are so incredibly grateful and cannot thank you enough for each of you who contributed to our fall fundraiser, Prayer, Peace, and Prosperity. If you still need to fulfill your pledge, you can do so. You can either place cash or a check in an envelope. Make sure that you've got your name on it and you've labeled it for the 2025 fundraiser, or you can give online at Unity Center CR. And again, please choose the 2025 fundraiser. But thank you, everyone, so much for this incredible effort. Okay, now even more exciting news. We actually have 2 ministerial candidates. Yay. In addition to that, we also have a great opportunity for everyone to come and meet them. The next 2 Sundays, we will have Reverend Mary Patrice Went and Reverend Fran Winslow will be here to meet us, and we've got multiple opportunities for you to interact with them. The first one is Reverend Went, which is next Sunday. Reverend Went will be conducting service at 10 a.m. We will also have a brunch along with question and answer session for everyone to ask any questions they would like. And then from 12:30 to 2, she will be giving a workshop where you'll be able to actually interact with her in another capacity, in a teaching capacity, educational capacity. And then on the following Sunday, November 2nd, you have the same opportunity with Reverend Winslow, where they'll be doing service with a brunch, question and answer session afterwards, and a workshop. So very, very exciting. If you have a prayer request today, your prayer partner today is Susan Liddell, and that'll be in the prayer room after service. And now let's all please stand and join us for the congregational song.
This is my commandment, that you love one another, that your joy may be full. This is my commandment, that you love one another, that your joy may be full. That your joy may be full. That your joy may be full. This is my commandment, that you love one another, that your joy may be full. This is my commandment, that you love one another, that your joy may be full. This is my commandment, that you love one another, that your joy may be full. That your joy may be full. That your joy may be full.
Our statement of purpose. Unity is a positive path for spiritual living. We gather to create an experience of spirit. At Unity CR, we offer practical teachings that empower abundant and meaningful living. Meeting you right where you are, we endeavor to provide a variety of ways to support your path of spiritual living. Our mission is to provide spiritual awareness and share the wonder and joy of God's love. Our daily word for today is forgiveness. Let's read the affirmation together. Forgiveness is my path to peace. Occasionally, I may decide that transgression or mistake is simply unforgivable. However, when I maintain a spiritual perspective, I realize forgiveness is key to moving on from painful interactions and is an important part of my spiritual path. Releasing unforgiveness may be one of the hardest things that I will do, but I trust there will be peace in my heart and clarity in my mind when I do it. Whether I struggle to forgive another or forgive myself, I trust there is no judgment or condemnation in spirit. Whatever the error, the divine presence within can help me transcend it. There is no pain, no hurt that is greater or more enduring than God. This is the comfort and promise that helps me forgive and know lasting peace. Our Bible verse today: do not judge, and you will not be judged. Do not condemn, and you will not be condemned. Forgive, and you will be forgiven. Luke chapter 6, verse 37.
Have you ever felt like nobody was there? Have you ever felt forgotten in the middle of nowhere? Have you ever felt like you could disappear? Like you could fall and no one would hear? So let that lonely feeling wash away. Maybe there's a reason to believe you'll be okay. 'Cause when you don't feel strong enough to stand, you can reach out your hand. And oh, someone will come running, and I know they'll take you home. Even when the dark comes crashing through, when you need a friend to carry you, and when you're broken on the ground, you will be found. So let the sun come streaming in, 'cause you'll reach up and you'll rise again. Lift your head and look around. You will be found. 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 There's a place where we don't have to feel unknown. And every time that you call out, you're a little less alone. If you only say the word, from across the silence, your voice is heard. Even when the dark comes crashing through, when you need a friend to carry you, and when you're broken on the ground, you will be found. So let the sun come streaming in, 'cause you'll reach up and you'll rise again. Lift your head and look around. You will be found. You will be found. You will be found. Even when the dark comes crashing through, when you need a friend to carry you, and when you're broken on the ground, you will be found. So let the sun come streaming in, 'cause you'll reach up and you'll rise again. Lift your head and look around. You will be found.
Is this thing on? Perfect. That was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Well, thank you so much for having me here. I was thinking about this morning and obviously getting nervous, but I've met a lot of you and I have just felt really loved, and I feel like there's a lot of joy, and so I'm not going to be nervous. I'm just going to kind of lean in. And frankly, I had a pretty prepared speech for today, but we are kind of as a family going through some shakeups. We've had some big shakeups recently, and it's kind of forced me to think about compassion in my own life, not just sharing it with the world. So I think today I'm going to talk to myself as much as I'm going to talk to everybody else about the importance of compassion. So I'm a compassionate leadership coach and strategist, and so basically what that means is I work with leaders to build love and compassion into their workplaces, which sounds kind of crazy, but it's really beautiful work, and we're able to kind of build functional compassion into workplaces. But I believe that we are all leaders and that we all need to have this muscle and this skill in our life because we all lead, someplace. So I often do an exercise where I ask people to think about all of the things that they love in a few minutes, okay? And the reason why I do this is because I want people to think about and to explore the idea that when we think about love, we think about it in a very narrow scope, right? We think oftentimes about what humans we're able to give our love to, and it's very direct. So most people typically will write down a list of 20 things, and only one or two of them will be related to romantic love. So then we're able to kind of expand our ideas about all of the people and the things that we can love. And I recently came across the book, The Four Loves by C.S. Lewis. Does everybody know who C.S. Lewis is? Right? What is he most famous for? Yes, the Chronicles of Narnia. Well, he actually has written a lot of books. He spent a lot of time in spirituality. So he became, he had a spiritual presence, then he didn't, and then he came back to it. And I was lucky enough to come across it recently. And the book has been able to kind of put a frame around this feeling of love that I have and that I like to share with people. And so I'm kind of excited to be able to share that frame along with you guys this morning. So we're going to kind of talk through some of the pieces of love, and then we're going to talk more about how we can, kind of build that love between us. So when C.S. Lewis talks about love, he talks about four kinds of love. So the first is affection, and that's kind of like the starting place for the rest of the loves. Next, there's friendship. Then there's the romantic part, or eros is what he calls it. And then the last is divine love or charity. And I want to spend most of our time today talking about affection and friendship because it is the place where we all can come closest to this love, and it's the place that we can really start and kind of ground ourselves in how we need to build community. So C.S. Lewis believed that love was never meant to stay private, that it should always reach outward, and that it must always be bigger than us. And I wholeheartedly believe that. Now I just have words to be able to put around it. So I have in the last probably 5 years or so, I've really been kind of digging and searching for ways to create environments that are both nurturing but also sustainable, because right now I think we're struggling to reach both of those. So let's lean in and build relationships where love is the basis for the way that we operate. So love and compassion are very intertwined. It's kind of a life-sustaining system. So love feeds compassion, and compassion feeds love. So we're going to talk about both of those kind of as a system, how they work together. So let's first talk about affection. And affection is, when you think about it, you can kind of think of a triangle, and affection is that base layer. So it's the strongest part. So think about the pyramids. It's the big base at the bottom. And the idea is that love has to start with affection. That has to be the place where it starts. So C.S. Lewis talks about it being the soil for which all love grows. So when you think about it that way, and you think about all the different kinds of love, this is that soil that we're all responsible for nurturing. Affection is instinctual. It's parental. So it's the love that we get from our family. It's the love, that we encounter when we're out kind of in the wild on a very basic level. It's our least discriminating love. So think about some of the people that you have felt affection for that maybe don't, meet the typical mold that you would imagine your friends or the people, that you care about to be. It forces you, or it allows us to experience things that we've never experienced before. All the other types of love are intentional, but affection can kind of sneak up on us. So I'm always reminded of this video. Of course, I'm a millennial, just like everybody else. I scroll and swipe just like everybody else. But I recently saw this video of this sweet, sweet old man with his thick Southern drawl going up and publicly apologizing for his racism in the past. And he spoke about how he just came across somebody who was of color, and he had never, he would never sat down and actually had a conversation with somebody. And that forced him to get up publicly and to apologize for the way that he has seen the world. I want you to think about that. Think about how that could have been such a chance encounter, but it truly changed life. And by having it publicly done, it forces other people to look at the way that they interact with the world as well. So affection can also be ambivalent, so that's important to remember. So it can work for good and it can work for evil, right? So it has to have guardrails. You have to be intentionally positive, for lack of a better term, in the way that you interact in that affection space, because you want to be surrounding yourself with people that have the same beliefs as you, that force you to be better. So just always remember that along with affection, you also have to, understand your values and your purpose. But the beauty of affection is that it leads to friendship. But it also can lead to a little bit of heartache. So C.S. Lewis said that affection is responsible for 9/10 of whatever solid and durable happiness there is in our lives, and it's also responsible for 9/10 of the misery. Right? That's really valid. So, there's a piece in the Bible that talks about guarding your heart, and I like to think about that in relation to this, and, make sure that the interactions that you have are nurturing to your soul, and then build upon those as you build your loves. So when affection is healthy, it will open the door to one of life's greatest blessings, and that's friendship. And I look around this room and I can see a lot of it in the hugs that you give each other, and the time that you take to be in conversation. So first I want you to just be thankful for how lucky you are that all of that love kind of exists in this room, because I assure you that it doesn't in a lot of other places. So I absolutely commend you for that. Now, when I think about friendship personally, it's taken me a long time. So I'm 39 years old, and it's taken me a long time to realize the importance of friendship, okay? I come from a family of nomads on my maternal side. So I didn't see really good examples of friendship until I realized, oh my gosh, I need them so badly, what is friendship? Because I never saw the beauty of it in the relationships that were exemplified for me. So it wasn't modeled well for me as a child. And so I've had to seek it. I've had to first understand it, and then I've had to seek it. And I think that C.S. Lewis says it perfectly when he says that through affection, friendship is born at the moment when one person says to another, "What? You too? You see this piece in me? And I see it in you." That's where friendship blooms. And to be perfectly honest, like, I don't think we give ourselves a lot of opportunities to seek that moment with other people. C.S. Lewis talks about friendship as being almost mystical. So he said it must be like the relationship between angels. And think about that. Like, reflect on the people that you love and that you share your life with. And it's really, really true. So it's the second love, according to C.S. Lewis, and it's arguably the most difficult and the most fulfilling to have. And what's super interesting to me is he talks about it how biologically we don't need it to survive. Now, this was written in the 1960s. There has been a lot of studies done on our bodies, and this is actually not true. Biologically, it does really make our lives better to be in friendship with other people. But what's interesting about that is that we don't need it to survive. That is absolutely true. We don't need friendships to survive, but we need them to thrive. Okay, so think about the people that are in your life right now, especially those of you who are in really busy times of your life. I bet you don't have a lot of strong friendships, right? Because they're not an integral part of the way that we need to survive, but they're incredibly important for the fulfillment of life. And honestly, we've just forgotten the importance of friendship. So when I think globally about why we're missing this piece, and it's because we are hyper-individuals, right? We live in a very hyper-individualized society. Only 30% of people now go to church. Like, that's kind of a wild number when you think about it. When you think about the fact that church is the place where we learn about love, we learn about compassion. In the 1960s, that was 70%, and now it's 30%. We don't go to clubs anymore. My parents, used to go and hang out with people. My mom shot pool on Wednesday nights, but, a lot of people would go and play bridge. A lot of people, would go and have coffee with their friends. We don't do that anymore. We don't have the time to do it anymore. So frankly, we're desperate for these friendships, but we have no idea where to find them. So I want you to think about that what, you too moment? Because I'm convinced that we don't know where to find those places. And it's very evident in our loneliness epidemic, the amount of loneliness that exists in every person that you walk past is unbelievable. I think about, and I hope that this leaves the room with one of you, but I once read a book that talked about just the importance of quiet loves. And it was the story of a guy who was talking about his brother. And his brother was walking to a bridge to end his life. And he said in the note, if one person acknowledges me on my walk, I won't do it. And he did it. And just like think about that. Think about the impact that you can have on another person's life just by acknowledging them. So, and I mean, that's a big example, but it's the community that we need. That person was looking for connection. He was looking for the ability to connect with someone else, and it just doesn't exist anymore. But the good news is that compassion is the bridge. Like, I have spent years studying compassion and studying suffering, and if you want to build friendship, you want to build affection with people, start with compassion. Okay, so compassion in its simplest form is the sensitivity to suffering in yourself or in another person, or another person with a commitment to try and alleviate and prevent it. So when we think about suffering, we can kind of think pretty narrow about that. But think about that person that is carrying, 4 cups of coffee and a purse and can't open the door. Like, compassion starts with opening that door for that person. You go out of your way to do that. So when you think about suffering, I want you to think of it as just making someone else's day a little bit better, right? You have no idea the level of suffering. That person may have had the worst morning of their life. Where our family is in that season right now, right? So if my heart is broken and I'm out in the world and one person can open the door for me, like, think how big of a change that can make. So when you think about bridging that individual piece to the community, it's done through compassion. Compassion and empathy are not the same. So I think that's really important to know. We talk a lot about the importance of empathy, But all empathy does is leave us both feeling kind of crappy about a situation, right? So that's where compassion has to come in. That's where we really get legs under this, is compassion is action. It's seeing that, it's feeling that gut feeling when someone is suffering and you know it, and it's actually doing something to make a difference in their life, right? So the next time you're at work and you come across your coworker whose sister has just passed away, and they're standing at the coffee maker, go out of your way to acknowledge them, to say, I see you. You know, this happened to me a couple of years ago. That can truly make such a big difference in people's lives. It's going back to your computer and sending them a support group that you found. Like, go Google a support group and send it to them, but let them know that you see them. It's incredibly important. So compassion doesn't have to be these big, broad strokes. They can be these tiny things that build community. I've been doing this experiment lately where I've been asking people for favors, which feels really weird to me. Like, my son is here today. He has grown for 15 years, and I have never taken up the offer for another person to drive my kid to sports, which is absurd, right? We don't all need to be at the practice, but we do. But I have never taken somebody up on that. But now that I'm learning about about what compassion and connection does, like, me asking someone else for a favor allows them to come back and ask me for a favor. Like, think about the times you've offered to do something for someone else. You do that with an open heart. You don't do that out of obligation. So why don't we take advantage of those relationships? Because that's where we build. It's when I know that you see me in my suffering and you're willing to help, and I'm willing to do the exact same thing for you. Okay? So, the cool thing about compassion, though, is that it sits different in our body. So this is where we get to that biological piece. So this is where I'm going to disagree with C.S. Lewis. The way that empathy and compassion travel through our bodies are really different. So empathy travels through our stress systems, okay? So it creates a stress hormone in our body. And you guys can feel that. When you're around somebody and you are in, empathetic love with them, you feel exhausted. Your body feels exhausted. Well, compassion travels through your body through your reward system, okay? So when you do something good, it causes your body to release serotonin, which is an award, which is a reward system. So your body feels good, and the other person feels good too. Think about that. Think about the experiences that you've had in your life. Think about times when you have gone and you have served a meal to someone who doesn't have meal security, or you have helped a kid find a book in a library. That makes you feel good. And biologically, we need that. We need that for community, but we've just forgotten how to do those. We've forgotten the importance of it because our culture tells us that we must be independent creatures, that we must work for our own well-being. And that's actually historically not true at all. Compassion and relationship and love exists in every single religion known to man. Those exist, being in service to other people. And when you look back historically, anytime big social change has happened, like the place that we're in right now, it takes compassion. It takes us coming together and working as a group to benefit us all. That's what we have to do to come together. So that's the big message that I want you to walk away from this in, is I want you to lean into those feelings of compassion that you have. Mark Twain said that if you want to cheer yourself up, cheer someone else up. And that's absolutely true, right? So the next time, I read this great book, I can't remember of it, but it's called I can't remember who wrote it, but it's called The Power of Kindness. And it actually talks about kindness giving you more time back in your day. So if you focus on building things into your day that are intentionally good for the masses, you actually feel like you have more time. It's actually statistically proven that if you put your efforts to good works, you actually feel like you have more time. So what I want you guys to do, and you can do it right here in this community, right? You can have one more conversation today where you see somebody that you haven't seen before. But I want you guys to wake up in the morning with the intention of being in service to another person. And it doesn't have to be grand. I started it literally by picking up trash when I go on my walks at lunch. Because it's not in service of Susie or in service directly of someone else, but it's in service of the greater good. It's in service of the earth. It's in service of my grandchildren who are going to leave here or live here after me. So start small. It doesn't have to be big. Just do something outside of yourself, Warner. My kind of epiphany, guys, though, is that this has come very naturally to me. I have lived this way for a long time, but I've realized that not everyone does. And so I like to share, this feeling that I get with all of you. So compassion is the absolute fastest way to build community. It's the fastest way to get to all of those other kinds of loves. There's a Chinese proverb that says that there's no way to compassion. Compassion is the way. So we shouldn't be seeking it. We've already got it. We've got it instinctually. It's in our hearts. It's in that gut feeling when we see someone hurting and we ignore that gut feeling. We push it down, okay? Use that feeling to do good in the world because that's what you're being called to do. That's what your body is asking you to do, and that's what your community is asking you to do. It's a muscle. You can flex it with the tiniest of actions, and I have learned literally with personal experience that you start so small, and it just sparks this joy and this beauty in you, right? So the way that I navigate the world 5 years later is incredibly different than I used to. And I now, it's work. It's work to wake up grumpy, Warner needed me to find his clothes, it's been a heck of a morning. But I go out in the world knowing that one interaction could change someone's life. One kind thing can truly change another person's life. So start here. Start with the people that you already know and that you love. Ask somebody out for lunch who you've never had lunch with before. So that's the experiment, right? That's what I want you to take away from this, is that you can make the tiniest difference in someone's life, but it will make a huge difference in yours. I navigate the world in so much more joy, and it's really awesome, and I encourage you all to do it. So open the door for someone the next time their hands are full and you're in a rush. Have you guys heard of the Good Samaritan experiment? Where they're actually people who are in school for ministry, and they were sent on an emergency to go and do a task. And they were split into two. So some of them were just told, you need to go do this. It needs to get done quickly. And the other ones were given much more urgency to get the job done. And they all encountered the same person suffering on the side of the road. And the people who weren't rushed stopped nearly every time to help that person. But the person with urgency, right, wrong, or indifferent, didn't stop as often to help those people. So think about that. Think about how ingrained we get into our own, this has to get done and this has to get done. I got to get to the grocery store. And it's very easy to walk by and not see the people suffering. So just slow down, get out of yourself for a second, and wake up every day intentionally to help another person. Okay, we'll start the meditation. Okay. All right, so take a moment just to settle into your seat. Let your feet rest firmly on the ground. And if you're comfortable, allow your eyes to close. Take a slow, deep breath in. And let it out. Okay, breathe in again, this time imagining your breath is softening your chest, opening space around your heart. Breathe out, releasing any tension or expectation. Now bring to mind the word compassion. What does it mean to you today? Not as an idea, but as a living thing. A feeling that breathes, that moves through us. Compassion is more than kindness. It's the courage to be moved by another's experience and the willingness to act when our hearts are stirred. Imagine now the faces of the people gathered here with you. This community, bound not by sameness, but by shared intention. Each person in this room carries a story filled with joys, struggles, hopes, and quiet worries. Take a moment to feel your breath. Connect you to them. Create a rhythm in that shared space between you. A reminder that we belong to one another. Now bring to mind someone in this community who might need your care today. It could be someone you know, or someone whose name you don't know at all. Imagine them surrounded by warmth, by the steady glow of your compassionate presence. If it feels right, silently offer them this simple blessing. May you be held in compassion. May you feel seen, and may you be at peace. Now turn that compassion inward. You too are a part of this grand circle. You too deserve gentleness. Whisper to yourself, may I be held in compassion. May I feel seen. May I be at peace. Feel how compassion moves from yourself to others, and then from others back to you. It's a current that flows both ways, a quiet river that nourishes everything it touches. This is the essence of this beautiful community you've invited me into today. It's not perfection, but presence. It's not agreement, but connection. As we close, take one more deep breath in and let it out slowly. May the compassion we cultivate here ripple outward into our families, our neighborhoods, and the wider world. And may it return to us again and again as love in action. When you're ready, you can go ahead and open your eyes. Thank you.
Two, 1, 2, 3, 4. Everything is fine. It's peaceful in my mind. Finally relax. Look, it's raining fire outside, but it's peaceful in my mind. hey babe, that's alright. You don't even have to try. Look inside, see what I find. Here, take a little piece of mine. Oh no, that's alright. There's no going back this time. It's time to wave goodbye. Look, it's raining fire outside, but it's peaceful in my mind. Hey babe, that's alright. You don't even have to try. Look inside, see what I find. Here, take a little piece of mine. Oh no, that's alright. There's no going back this time.
Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you, Chelsea. Thank you, Polly, for bringing Chelsea to us today. And thank you, Noah, and the band for the wonderful music. Okay, now for the blessing of the offerings. While the ushers are coming forward, if you have set up a regular electronic giving or would like to give online today, please find the online giving card or raise your hand if you need one. We invite you and those of you online to make your contributions at unitycr.org. We also invite everyone to hold their love offering or their card for a blessing. We bless these baskets and the abundance they will soon receive. We see them as symbols of the potential available to all of us. As we participate in this sacred act of giving and receiving, we give abundantly, we receive thankfully, and we give again generously. Please join me for our offertory statement. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am grateful.
We're grounded by faith, growing in wisdom, grateful for love in all that we are. Grounded by faith.
Thank you. Please join me in blessing our offerings and our prayer intentions. The blessing of the offerings, freely we give and gratefully we receive. We dedicate and consecrate these tithes, gifts, and offerings to the will, the work, and the way of the Christ as it expresses through this ministry of love and service. Our prayer intentions. We surround these members of our spiritual community who have made known their prayer requests with our loving thoughts and prayers. We affirm and know that each person is blessed with wisdom and discernment, health and wholeness, and prosperity in good measure. We release these requests, trusting that all is well. Amen. Our first annual craft and arts fair. Please join us in the community room. And I do want to also remind you the next 2 Sundays we have 2 ministerial candidates. So it's opportunities for all of you to have the chance to meet them and experience them in a couple of different settings, both through the service as well as the brunch Q&A, and then also for the workshop afterwards.
Let's all stand as you're able and join in with our peace song. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect unity. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every breath I take, let this be my joyful vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
And our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us.
I am the light of God.
The love of God enfolds us.
I am the love of God.
The power of God protects us.
I am the love of God.
The presence of God watches over us.
I am the presence of God.
Wherever I am, God